Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. I am so excited to dive into today's topic because we're looking at the ultimate blueprint for maximizing your daily routine and your career potential. I mean, we all want to achieve more, right? But pulling that off without sacrificing our sanity, yeah, that's the real trick. Today, we're unpacking a massive amount of data and expert research to give you a true edge in your daily hustle. Let's get into it.
So, I want you to think about this right out of the gate. Is that 5 a.m. alarm really the ultimate secret to your career success, or is it just a fast track to physical and emotional burnout? There's this huge, undeniable tension right now in the modern workplace. We're all caught between wanting to achieve absolutely everything and that very real, creeping threat of total exhaustion.
To figure this out, we're going to take a chronological journey through a typical modern professional's day. We'll start with the early riser trend, then move into your day job with brand building for employees. After that, we'll hit navigating side hustle compliance, talk about multiplying side hustle income in the evening, and finally wrap the whole thing up with preventing professional burnout.
All right, part 1, the early riser trend, optimizing that 5 to 9 before your 9 to 5. If you spend any time online, you know that everyone from tech CEOs to TikTok influencers is totally glorifying the early morning grind. But the actual science behind our sleep, it tells a completely different story. The world basically caters to morning larks, the early birds. And research shows larks do tend to be persistent go-getters with a sunnier disposition. But get this, night owls actually demonstrate superior memory, faster processing speeds, and higher cognitive ability. So what's the takeaway? Well, roughly half of us have an internal clock that doesn't favor either extreme, but for the rest of us, your chronotype is largely genetic. Forcing a 5 a.m. schedule when you are a natural owl is essentially fighting your own biology and cutting your critical sleep short. No wonder you feel exhausted. However, if you are a natural early riser, the wildly popular 5 a.m. club framework might just be your golden hour. It uses this 20-20-20 formula. That's 20 minutes of exercise, 20 minutes of reflection or journaling, and 20 minutes of learning a new skill. People who do this swear by it because it carves out totally distraction-free time. Since everyone else is literally still asleep, you get this massive head start on your personal goals before the chaos of your day job even starts. Moving right along to Section 2, Brand Building for Employees, Managing Your Reputation at Scale. So how do you stand out in your corporate 9 to 5 and grow your professional footprint without making it look like you're desperately job hunting? Now, I know the term personal brand can feel, well, a little cringe or self-centered, but look at this brilliant quote from marketing expert Amanda Natavadad. She says, "I want to create leverage for myself. I want my ideas to serve as a magnet for the people and opportunities I want to attract." See, it's not about becoming an internet influencer. It's about managing your reputation at scale so you literally never have to do a traditional cold job hunt ever again. That is a game changer. Okay, so how do we actually do this safely? You just follow these 3 informal rules. Number 1, be mindful of your corporate role. Remember, you aren't the official company spokesperson, so just stick to sharing the work you're personally proud of. Number 2, don't say anything online that you wouldn't say out loud in the office break room. You're a professional. Keep it that way. And number 3, give yourself topic guardrails. Stick strictly to your specific expertise and your firsthand experiences. That kind of specificity is what makes you memorable. And honestly, it keeps you out of trouble. Okay, Section 3, Navigating Side Hustle Compliance, the hidden risks of the hustle. Let's move into the late afternoon of our professional's day. This is where your corporate job and your ambitious side hustle might accidentally collide. And trust me, it creates some major hidden risks. I want you to imagine this exact scenario with me for a second. You consult for a tech startup on the weekends. You use your own laptop, you only work Saturdays, you're being super careful, but suddenly, that startup bids on a massive contract with your full-time employer. Now, you aren't on the selection committee, so you don't even have a vote. What do? Do you resign from the startup immediately? Do you formally disclose it? Or do you just stay quiet because, hey, it's totally separate, right? The absolutely crucial point here is understanding the duty of loyalty. As an employee, you have a fundamental legal obligation to act in your employer's best interests. This means you have to avoid anything that creates even the appearance of divided loyalty. Even if you aren't on that selection committee, your presence on that startup's payroll creates a massive institutional risk. The conflict of interest is defined by the relationship itself, not by your actual decision-making power. So, the correct answer to that tricky scenario? Formally disclose it. Why? Because being transparent allows your company's compliance team to assess the situation and, if possible, build what's called an ethical wall. This is a formal internal separation that ensures you have absolutely zero involvement in anything related to that specific contract. It protects your company's reputation for sure, but more importantly, it protects you from accidentally breaching your duty. Which brings us to Section 4, multiplying side hustle income, escaping the time for money trap.
So, the workday is over, it's evening, and it's time to focus on the hustle itself. But let me ask you, are you actually building a scalable business, or are you just working a second, totally exhausting job? Here is a huge reality check for you. 73% of side hustlers earn under $500 a month, even after a full year of grinding. That's wild, right? If your side business can't run without you physically being there for every single hour, you don't have a business. You have an expensive, time-consuming hobby. Trading hours for dollars simply does not scale.
To break out of that trap and build something real, top earners use what we call the 3 multipliers. First, they systemize. They document their processes, they create templates, and they automate so they can deploy things infinitely. Second, they use leverage. That means utilizing other people's time, other people's audiences, or other people's money. And third, they scale. They create digital assets or products that they build once, but they can sell forever.
And honestly, perhaps the most immediate multiplier you can use right now is premium pricing. The data on this is super clear. Competing on price almost always attracts terrible clients. Instead, what if you charge 3 times more? You only need to serve a third of the clients, but you can make 10 times the profit. And what's really mind-blowing is that Harvard research actually shows premium pricing increases your perceived value by 60%. You preserve your sanity, you boost your brand, all in one swing.
To put this all into practice, here's a totally doable 4-week action framework derived right from the research. Week 1, pick just one multiplier, systemize, leverage, or scale. Week 2, run an elimination audit. Seriously, cut out the tasks that just strain you. Week 3, build your first system, like a really solid, repeatable template. And week 4, raise your prices for new clients by 30 to 50%. This is exactly how you transition from an exhausted side hustler to a multiplied earner. Finally, Section 5, preventing professional burnout, protecting your absolute most valuable asset. This brings us to the most vital phase of our timeline. Because listen, if you don't protect your most valuable asset, which is obviously you, none of this other stuff matters at all. Ambitious professionals are notoriously good at absorbing incredible amounts of stress right up until it totally breaks them. You really need to watch for these signs. Notice the physical symptoms first. We're talking chronic fatigue, tension, a weakened immune system, and major sleep disturbances. But the emotional symptoms, they are just as dangerous. Feeling emotionally drained, experiencing a sudden decrease in empathy for your clients or your colleagues, and just overwhelming cynicism. Burnout develops gradually, so catching these red flags early is absolutely critical.
To prevent this from happening to you, the research highlights a few non-negotiable essentials. First, establish strict professional boundaries. Get a separate phone for work if you have to, and fiercely, unapologetically, protect your weekend and evening time. Implement daily stress management techniques, like the 4-7-8 deep breathing method between tasks to just release that built-up tension. And finally, build a strong support network of peers. Self-care is not selfish, guys. It is absolutely mandatory for a sustainable career.
As we wrap up, I want to leave you with one absolutely crucial question to ask yourself today. Are your daily routines actually building your ideal life, or are they just highly efficient systems for accelerating your own burnout? Whether you are a morning lark or a night owl, a corporate climber or a side hustle builder, the ultimate goal is true, sustainable balance. So take a hard look at your schedule this week, see where you can build some leverage, raise those prices, and set some firm boundaries. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will catch you all next time.